Welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, February 23, 2017. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. This country's top cop does not think that the provisions for acquiring a firearm license need reviewing at this time. In an interview with SVG-TV News today, the Commissioner of Police, Acting Renal Hathaway, expressed the view that due diligence has been paid by the Firearm License Board with the processes one is required to undergo before obtaining a firearm license. Hathaway said that the board, which comprises of one police officer, that being himself as commissioner, carefully reviews the lodged applications, which will then be followed by an interview process and background checks. According to him, it is a working process and does not require any changes at this time.
Prior to, however, background checks will be done and investigation will be carried out. Having completed that investigation, that will go back to the Firearms Board, and as I said, we will convene an interview with you. Also, you will be requested to go through a series of training on the range where you are exposed to the effects of a firearm, how to properly handle, care, etc., and to use it as well. All of that's been done. You're being given a certificate of competence to prove that you understand the mechanism, how to operate the firearm, etc. I must say, however, that at the interview stage, even though you have been in the green, so to speak, on all those areas, determination may be made that you may not be granted a firearm immediately because we may need to do additional background or further follow-up in one way or the other.
Following the shooting death of credit risk analyst of the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Randy Lawrence, on Valentine's Day, February 14th in the Arnesville area, there has been much talk about the stipulations which are presently in place to determine how a person obtains a firearm license. The person in custody assisting the police with their investigation into Lawrence's death is former journalist turned marketer Junior Jarvis, who reportedly used a licensed firearm to commit the crime. Speaking directly to the issue, Commissioner Hathaway made it clear that Jarvis's license approval came at a time when he was not yet appointed as commissioner. He, however, noted that due diligence is being paid to ensure that guns are not being placed in the wrong hands.
The background check goes wide, and it speaks to your workplace, your environment. You know, we go as far as we can to see what sort of person has made this application to acquire a firearm, whether you have a tendency of being violent, aggressive, etc., all those things can work against you. The specific case, again, I would not want to delve too much into the details, but I cannot speak with no clarity on the matter as it stands now as to him getting to the stage where he would have acquired the permission to hold a firearm, because not pointing finger or anything, it would have happened prior to me taking office as Commissioner Acting. So I really do not know what would have been the situation involving him during those stages in respect to applying for the firearm. But I can say that we have, particularly since after the incident, recognized that there are incidents of reports against him.
The acting commissioner also cautioned that being a holder of a firearm license does not offer the exemption from any charges being brought against such person.
You having a firearm in your possession, having been granted a license, doesn't mean that action cannot be taken against you from a criminal standpoint, as we are aware. Also, if you are not the person so deemed to hold a firearm, if that is discovered subsequently, action can be taken again from the board standpoint to revoke your firearm license, and hence the firearm will be relieved from you. So again, we are asking and appealing to the public, those persons who are holders of firearm license, to act maturely and properly at all times with their firearm.
Meantime, Deputy Commissioner of Police Acting Colin John is making it clear that having a licensed firearm is not a trophy, nor does it give an individual bragging rights.
In most cases, the persons who are granted license are regarded as mature persons and responsible persons. But in all of the cases, it should be. But from time to time, we are human and mistakes will be made, but as far as possible, we try to, based on the evidence that is before us, to give license to persons who the board consider to be deserving persons. And you must have good reasons for obtaining license. For instance, where you may have property, or you may have things to protect, as the case may be. And as I said before, you must show this level of maturity. You also should have somewhere to store that firearm, in that you will not just leave it lying in your home in a jar where it can be have easy access to burglars, and children can have easy access to it so that they can cause harm to themselves or to others. So when applying for a firearm license, when having been granted a firearm license, you are required or you are expected to act responsibly in all circumstances.
And Commissioner of Police Acting Renella Hathaway said this country should be commended for keeping the crime level at bay for the year thus far. Hathaway said when compared to other neighboring Caribbean countries, SVG seems to be on the right track in its pursuit for a safer society.
I wish to knock on wood, however, because oftentimes you speak and things do turn out the other way. To speak to the question specifically, not labeling any country as per se, but some of our neighbors are having a torrid time thus far. I know in one particular country, the count where homicide is concerned stands at 15. And it is really, really alarming. I sat several times and reflect on that situation and wonder what would have been our position, what sort of action would have been taken if we were in such a situation. It is very, very alarming to know that we are into the second month and they are at that stage. Most of the countries, however, across the region seem to be doing pretty good thus far, apart from a few countries.
Thus far, the country has recorded one homicide, that on Valentine's Day, and the opening day for operation of the Argyle International Airport. Commissioner Hathaway noted that the incident came at an unfortunate time when it should have been a joyous occasion for all Vincentians.
It was an incident that we were not looking forward to, obviously. Valentine's Day being what it is, and more so the occasion where we would have this grand rally at the Argyle International Airport, our largest capital project. We were really looking forward to persons, having a good time, looking forward to all the positive coming out of the airport, and the morning was marred with that report. It is an unfortunate situation, and it is a situation that we are addressing. The matter is before the court, so we will not be able to say much. The investigators are working, and we just look forward to see what is the result of that matter.
Meantime, Assistant Commissioner of Police Frankie Joseph gave the assurance that the police force is working tirelessly to improve its crime-fighting strategies to ensure a successful 2017.
The cause of death, according to the post-mortem report, is multiple gunshot and loss of blood. But it is very unfortunate that really happened, and I want to take this opportunity to extend condolences to the grieving families and friends and his colleagues at Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So far, we are doing pretty well in terms of crimes, and one of the reason behind that is our constant reviewing of our strategies that we are constantly reviewing and that we have put in place since last year to really cater for the rising models that were taking place. So I think we are doing pretty well so far. We just hope that we would be able to take control of things this year, because last year we had a very thorough time where we had a record number of murders, which was 40.
In more police news, Sergeant Henry Providence of the Traffic Department of the RSVG Police Force is encouraging motorists here to seek the assistance of the department in ensuring that their vehicles are in compliance with the laws of SVG.
Well, the traffic department is a friendly department, a public-friendly department. We encourage persons, if you're not sure of anything in regards to the Traffic Act, feel free to call us at the department. Come in and talk to any one of our officers, and I'm certain that any one of our officers are in a position where they could assist you in regards to this particular regulation which deals with the whole issue of lights or any other areas that you might have some issue with. Please feel free to come in, call us, talk to any one of the officers, and they should be able to assist you.
Speaking on the issue of regulations mandating the written permission of the police commissioner to have extra lighted lamps on a vehicle, Sergeant Providence stated that members of the public should feel comfortable with having their issue heard by the commissioner.
I just want to, the commissioner, as far as I have known him, is a reasonable individual, approachable guy, and you could, there's no need for you to be afraid or to write an application. He's somebody who you can have an audience with at any time if you feel that the letter itself doesn't really say forcefully what you want to get across to the commissioner. You could have an audience with him as well as to why you need to use these lights or whether or not. It doesn't have to be a light issue, any other issue in regards to traffic relation.
The veteran traffic cop also encouraged persons who have been ticketed and are aware that they have infringed upon the law to pay their tickets to avoid a harsher fine.
Well, in regards to using vehicle with other lighted lamps, Regulation 2110 and 11, also to Regulation 2112A, a person can be falsely ticketed for an offense of this nature. So you could ticket for an $80 fine, in which you have 21 days to pay that ticket. If that ticket is not paid within the 21 days, then the matter now goes before the court, where you can be charged up to $2,500 before the court of law. So we are also advising persons, well, if you are of the opinion that you did not warranty the ticket and you wish to challenge it, then all you need to do is just do not pay the ticket. You will be summoned, and then you could have it in court. But for persons who know they are infringing on the law, I'm appealing to them. It is best for them, if you know you're not in compliance and you are ticketed, to go ahead and pay the fine. Because it doesn't make any sense that you refuse to pay an $80 ticket, goes before the court, does not challenge it, and then you end up paying $2,500.
The 2017 SVG Capacity Building Port Security Personnel Seminar concluded today with several local port security officers being better equipped with the tools to provide security at the various ports. The workshop started on Tuesday, February 21st, 2017 at the National Emergency Management Office, NEMO, with representatives drawn from the Coast Guard, Port Kingstown, the Police Force, SAL, ECGC, and Guardsmen. It was held to provide port security personnel with additional knowledge and insights into the following areas: International Ship and Port Facility Security, ISPS code, recognizing and responding to security threats, and inspection, control, and monitoring activities. Facilitator Lieutenant Commander Matt Rowe of the United States Coast Guard International Port Security Program said the aim is to reach all partner countries. Rowe said St. Vincent and the Grenadines is a nation that the United States is heavily tied to, especially with cargo and passenger vessels. Local Coast Guard Commander Brenton Kane explained that the Coast Guard is the designated authority to monitor the security at all ports in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He said the United States decided to partner with the designated authority in staging the seminar so that all ports here will be on a common platform. The 4 campuses of the University of the West Indies will move forward in the finals of the postgraduate intercampus debate competition. Today at the Beachcombers Hotel, St. Augustine Trinidad campus gained 53 points and scored against the Open campus with 46 points. In the second round of debate, Mona Jamaica snatched 54 and out-debated Cave Hill Barbados with 52 points. The annual event, which was streamed live, dealt with topics relating to health, regional unity, and education, among others. Open Campus Postgraduate Public Relations Officer Renetta Peters highlighted that the master's students are from all 4 UWI campuses: Cave Hill in Barbados, St. Augustine in Trinidad, Mona in Jamaica, and the Open Campus, which consists of 17 Caribbean countries. Peters said this country is pleased to host the competition, noting that the debaters in the preliminary stage were highly competitive.
Some topics debating today are the Zika virus, a single curriculum currency, and face-to-face learning versus online learning. Today, Thursday, February 23rd, is the preliminary round of competition where all teams are debating, all 4 teams. The teams are going, so there are 2 campuses competing against each other, and tomorrow will be the final round of competition where we'll be having the final 2 teams who would have won their preliminary round today competing against each other tomorrow for the overall championship.
2 of the debaters from the St. Augustine campus in Trinidad, Dominique Gift and Benedict Bryan, admitted that participating in debates have helped them grasp a better knowledge of issues and improve their communication skills.
It's best that you round your personality as a student. When you go out into the career and the work world, you will have to address large crowd. Debate helps with your public speaking and it helps with your confidence. Personal development is what you get out of debate. So don't only focus on the academics, you have to focus on definitely rounding yourself out as a person.
And I would also say that it really helps you think. A lot of critical thinking and analysis takes place as well, because you also have to look at, as we were preparing the for and against, and we really had to take different approaches to how it is we would answer the question and what is the best approach to the question. So normally when you approach a problem, it's a straight line, but a debate gives you an opportunity to look at it from another perspective. So I think it's a great opportunity and people should indeed participate in debates. It is nice, it's gorgeous coming in actually and looking at the sea and then seeing the airport. It's a great welcome to the island. Loved it.
Admitting that there are perks to be had from participating in the debate, Rochelle Edwards and Patrice Jones of the Open Campus said that they have learned to be more open to opportunities. They also expressed their approval of the aesthetics and services at the newly opened air facility, the Argyle International Airport.
Honestly, this is the first time I've ever traveled, so it helped me face my fear of planes. So that was a great personal achievement for me. So that is the biggest perk, overcoming that obstacle.
And you landed on our Argyle International Airport, recently opened.
Yeah.
Want to say anything about that?
I loved it. It's clean. It is so clean, spotless, and the staff is very friendly and welcoming.
I just want to say that the biggest part for me, the perk of this event, is really giving back to the communities, because we're not just debating here today and tomorrow, but we are going into the communities, visiting the schools, trying to encourage students to pursue education at the University of the West Indies, and I think that is the main thing for me.
And the University of the West Indies Open Campus will hold its annual recognition of graduate ceremony at the Methodist Church Hall tomorrow, Friday, February 24th at 9 a.m. 63 graduates who have successfully completed their course of study at all 4 campuses of the university will be formally recognized for their academic and professional achievements in various disciplines, including medical sciences, management studies, education, accounting, and natural sciences. Ms. Stacia Morris, financial literacy expert, author, and management consultant, will deliver the feature address at the ceremony, while head of the Open Campus, Mrs. Deborah Dalrymple, will lead the academic procession. Sarah Owen, head of the Open Campus St. Kitts and Nevis, and acting deputy director of continuing professional education at the Open Campus, will perform official duties on behalf of the Vice Chancellor. Nick Francis, who will graduate with a first-class BSc in Youth Development work, is this year's valedictorian. 50 women in the Kingston area received training in business under the Division of Adult and Continuing Education program. The program, which is taking place island-wide, facilitates an aspect of business, cake decorating, and tailoring or sewing. Acting Director of the Adult and Continuing Education, John Zangeorge, said it is critical that persons receive access to training to improve themselves so that they become self-sufficient. George said that in the Zone 5 or Kingston area, some 50 persons have attended the 3-day work sessions, which were held at the Doris Mackey Resource Center at Upper Cane Hall.
We are involved in the formal, non-formal and informal sectors of education. We are the only part of the ministry that is so broad in our scope and our philosophy to ensure that everyone is part of the education landscape. And it is very, very important and vital that persons in today's world have a good rounded socialization, that they are part of some form of teaching learning experience and educational experience. And we're here to provide that, not only in the formal sense, but also in soft skills and other skill sets that will be work related for workforce development, and also for, we do civic cues and those sort of things, that the Caribbean vocational qualification that will entitle people to travel throughout the region, and a skills certificate so that they can get work. So we're not only concentrating on in St. Vincent and Grenadines, we also look for persons for export, if you want to say that, so that we are here to ensure that all Vincentians are part of the education landscape and are socialized in a way that they can be a benefit to St. Vincent and Grenadines.
Coordinator of Zone 5, Leroy Rock, said he is pleased with the turnout and explained that the next sessions will entail aspects that encompass sewing, tailoring, and cake decorating.
Persons came from Billy to Kingston. Also, there are a few persons outside of our zone, because we don't turn back anybody. Now we have about 50 persons participating over these 3 days. And as I said, it is really to develop those personnel, especially those unemployed, because 3/4 of the persons who are here today are unemployed. So we are encouraging them. So this is part of our Zone 5 program. It's the first program for the year that which is the business. But it is from next week, Wednesday. Those same persons will be engaged in a cake decorating class. And there are also a sewing class will be coming soon after. So we are training all those persons who will be involved in the class into business. Okay, it is a marriage of the business and whatever skill that we offer.
Some of the participants at the sessions expressed their appreciation for the training and embraced the importance of learning business skill sets.
We are learning many skills, more about customer-friendly attitudes and so on, although I've known a lot. And also, I learned more about budgeting. And I'm happy for that, because I usually do my budget, but have gotten another skill about budgeting. Well, we are having fun, as I said before, and we are thankful for this workshop.
Especially now that things are going more on an international market, customer service is one of the main things that brings in business, because if you're not nice to me, I won't want to come to you. We've also, as Ms. King said, we've learned about budgeting, learning to involve yourself, making your own way, starting your own business.
Really educational, and I am enjoying myself, because I myself would like to get into my own business and help other people who are out there, teach them about how they should go about doing it and the right approaches to take, and how they should be helping customers, how we should treat them, how we should, relay to them.
Faith Cambridge of the No. 2 Kingston Bromley Pack took the top prize in this year's Althea Commission Bromley Public Speaking Competition, hosted by the SVG Girl Guides Association's Junior Council. 8 Bromleys took part in the competition and spoke on the topic, "From a small seed, a mighty tree may grow. How does this relate to you as a Bromley guide?" This was followed by an impromptu segment. Faith Cambridge took the top spot with 226 points, whilst Ajani Dyer of the No. 22 Kingston Bromley Pack took the second place with 222 points and the best impromptu speech with 101 points. The third place position overall was captured by Johnny Keynes of the 1st Barley Bromley Pack with 212 points. Haynes also took the best prepared speech with 127 points. The competition forms part of the SVG Girl Guides Association's activities in commemoration of World Thinking Day and was designed to encourage a greater sense of confidence amongst the participants.